All right, everybody, welcome back to Versus Live. My name is Corey Baumeister.
And I'm Ross Merriam.
And we got Rob in the booth. Say, Rob is awesome, Rob.
Rob is awesome, Rob.
That's some true stuff being said right there. Harsh.
Not many times I talk about myself in the third person, but
Well, hey, you should try it, fun. Corey does it all the time, and he's cray. So, all right. Rob will be taking all your questions, comments, concerns, and burns in the chat. Make sure to tag at Star City Games so he can get his favorite ones sent over to us. And I know you probably got a lot of questions to do with Standard because, well, so do we, but we'll try our best to answer them here. So, like I was alluding to, we are playing more Standard today for anybody just joining. And this is the deck. This is the one deck I built a couple of them. But this is the one deck I put a lot of time in, and I take some pride in it because it's a deck that I already really loved back in the day. But when I originally built this style of deck, it was Team of Reclamation walking around, and it was Bant Ramp and Team of Reclamation were the top two decks, and both of them were kind of a bad matchup because they did have that over-the-top aspect. I want to be playing some fair games. I want my opponent to be curving out, and have some stuff I can interact with. If they're just going over the top and stuff, like we've kind of been talking what Standard has been about the last 6 months or so, this wasn't a very good deck. So far that just seems like the theme. We've unlocked all these really fun strategies that have been suppressed by over-the-top snowballing magic. And then this is definitely no different here. We have Skyclave Apparition, Baron, the 3-drop that bounces. We have some Thassa's to blink them, and then we have just 3 Yorions in the main, 1 in the companion slot, just the most on-brand me deck for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then Charming Prince to be able to continue the loop, get that going constantly, as well as a bunch of omens.
Anymore.
Huh?
You don't get to Teferi anymore.
I don't get to Teferi?
No.
Well, I have a Teferi.
Well, not the good Teferi.
Yeah. I don't.
Or even the other good Teferi.
That's fair. Yeah.
Or even the other good Teferi.
To be fair,
the original one.
I'm only playing one Teferi Master at a time because it's not very good. But, just a blink-based strategy with a bunch of value strapped to every single card, and it's a ton of fun.
Yeah, no, it makes a lot of sense. This is definitely a deck that's great at nickel and diming its opponent, just generating a little value here, a little value there, and then Yorion is your plan to go over the top. It's really good at doing that. I'm going to be playing Selesnya aggro. This is a deck I actually initially built in the early days of the Omnath format.
Yes.
And I was trying to figure out how to play aggressive decks, and I just got tired of losing my 2-drops to Bonecrusher Giant to stop.
Yes. Yeah.
And so, when I was playing mono green, which looked pretty good because Kazandu Mammoth is really powerful, but your 2-drops were like Nessie and Horn Beetle and Scavenging Ooze, and they just both got stomped. So I decided to look at creatures that, would survive Stomp, and I saw Seasoned Howlblade and Bronzehide Lion. If I went Selesnya, I could do that. Eventually, the deck morphed into a configuration that's somewhat close to what you see on your screen.
Yeah.
And the big realization for me was realizing that it was a great henge deck. And, you had so many ways to generate a 5-power creature on your 4th turn so that you can play a 4-mana henge, sometimes a 2-mana henge if you have the Mammoth Fable Passage draw. But it's those 3-power 2-drops plus Maul the Skyclaves, which is also great with your bigger green creatures, or those green 3-drops of Mammoth and Lovestruck Beast that we know so well with Henge. So you have 2 different paths, just the 3-drops that are big or the 2-drop into Maul plan that'll get you to your Henge. So there's 3 copies in the main deck. A great Henge plan ended up not being good against the ramp decks, as we keep reiterating, but here it looks to be one of the better cards, I think, in the format, really.
I agree.
A really nice one, and the deck, you have access to a pathway, so your mana should be workable. It looks pretty powerful.
Cool. Well, let's try it out. Yeah, Great Henge is a card I am definitely afraid of. I have some ECDs and stuff, but that is not always a foolproof plan. Yeah.
Well, that's a one-lander.
I'm gonna keep. It's nothing insane or anything, but good enough. Good enough. All right, Rob, you got one more question for us? Well, Ross mulligans to oblivion.
well, the Pro Citizen did ask about why this instead of a counters build, but then they said later that you'd mostly answered their question.
Oh, okay.
About the deck there, so that was all I had.
All right, perfect.
Those are just very, very different decks. Very different cards.
Very different decks, very different cards, very different play styles.
Would not be surprised to see some counters decks floating around on the ladder in tournaments. There's definitely a lot of powerful tools there.
Yep.
I just like the big green creatures. Lovestruck Beast is just so good.
Yeah, just
so
such
big.
a cool design card too. It really is. And I don't know, something just makes me want to weep along with them when you hear it on the arena, the sound effects.
Okay, I think we will forgo our second green source so that we can curve out with this 6, but it's a pretty good one. Now I will start with Heart's Desire.
Rude.
Shaheen has switched sides.
It's worked so well for everyone so far, so I'm quite scared.
Turn 1 Shaheen is undefeated today, so
Yes, it is.
Game 2, we can get our break in.
All right, I'm going to play an Emeria land and pass to you.
Attack for 1.
I will take it.
Play Bronze-Tide Lion.
Okay, 19.
Pass the turn.
All right, a good old 3/3, eh? Now, what do we want to do? This is a tough one. So early in the game to be a tough one. Think we'll just go with a Charming Prince, and I'm going to scry 2.
Sure.
Okay, I like these cards. I like one of these at least. Yeah, we'll just keep one, bottom the other.
Get in for 3.
Okay, I'll go to 16.
I will play Plains and Lovestruck Beast.
The beast that's Love Struck, okay.
Pass the turn.
Perfect. I'm going to be playing this on your Love Struck. And would I block the lion? No, so I'll just attack.
6. So I go to 18.
Yep, and I'm at 16, correct? Pass to you.
Okay, that was fine. Branch Loft Pathway.
Okay.
I will Primal Might for 1 on the Bronze-Tide Lion and the Apparition.
Okay, get a 3/3.
3/3. Attack you for 5.
Okay.
To 11. And then play Seasoned Howlblade.
I'm scared.
Yeah, this was a nice curve out. Well, just 1 to 4.
Yeah, that was quite strong.
We had creature, and to turn 4, creature plus removal spell.
I know I was there.
You're still here.
Barely. Not for long. Okay, so this is going to be troublesome, but we're not out of it completely yet. So...
Could you be out of it completely?
That would be better if you did.
Just imagine that you were. How would that work? What would that look like?
I'm going to start with an Omen.
Perfect.
It's getting closer, that's for sure.
Cards that don't impact the battlefield.
I'm going to bottom those.
Play as many of those as you want.
Draw. Then I have a Glass Casket on the Illusion.
Great target when you're blinking things.
And I'll pass to you.
Feels like we are setting up for a Yorion next turn.
I'm always setting up for a Yorion. 100% of the time.
So, Yorion next turn will gain you 3 life and deal with another creature, as well as Preordain.
And keep the loop going.
Well, I don't think you'll want to do that.
Oh, I'm always looping.
That's it. If I attack with all 3 and you make this block, just to be maximum pressure, you'd go to 5. If you blink the Prince and use that to blink the Yorion, you would only have 1 blocker, and that would leave you dead because I'm going to play another creature.
Oh, fair. Yep.
I guess, yeah, with the Glass Castle, you still wouldn't be dead.
Yep.
So, maybe that's what you'd want to do. I kind of think that you'd just gain the 3 life and have the 2/2. So you might be doing just enough here to stabilize if you've got the Yorion next turn. But I will send in with both, not the Shaheens. The extra aggression isn't worth a lot.
Sure. Yeah, I probably want to block here. Have you discard one of those cards. Soak up some damage. Yeah, I'll block.
Okay, I'll discard Plains.
Okay.
You go to 8.
Yep.
And I will play a Scavenging Ooze.
Okay.
Pass the turn. Don't think you're playing Sweepers, so... And your removal is all exile based. Feels like he does not have the Yorion here. I think that would be a pretty easy play.
That would be a slam. So I only really have one play, and it's Skyclave Apparition. Now I just have to try to set up the Scavenging Ooze represents the most damage. So it's probably that. Yeah, okay. Take Scavenging Ooze.
And is there a reason for me to leave cards in your graveyard? I don't think you have a way to bring them back.
ECD.
You have ECD.
Yep.
That is a reason. So I will... You're probably going to have to block with this Apparition. So I think I exile the Prince, because I think you're going to have an Apparition for an ECD anyway.
Okay.
So I will go to 19.
Your go.
This is exile. That was a good draw. You're dead.
Dang it!
Questing Beast.
God! Next turn was going to be so good.
Oh my god.
I was like, anything but kill me now. Anything but that. Come
That was a good
on.
draw.
Yeah, wow, because I was just going to take, 6, go to 2, even if you played Lovestruck,
Well, this wasn't on Adventure. That was exiled from the Apparition.
Oh, yeah, you're right,
So
okay.
I was just playing off the top. So yeah, if you go to 2, untap and exile these things and leave yours, maybe I have some mopey creature.
Dang it.
QB, right time.
God, QB has been a problem for me, though, I must say, but not in that fashion.
It's actually a card that isn't seeing as much play now because there's a lot of 1-for-1 removal. So people are just Heartless acting it and answering it really efficiently.
Yeah.
And it's not a creature people are looking to. It's maybe something that wouldn't even make a later version of this deck because you'd be looking to be a little bit more resilient. But this deck is so aggressive and hard hitting that I really like QB for that closing speed.
Yeah. Nope, that makes sense to me. All right, well, that was a tilting game, but I guess Ross is on the board, and Lovestruck Beast has won every game so far, so shocking. The card's good. So don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with sideboarding, and I think I got some Ross for you coming in, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Corey Being Salty live for that last game, or versus live if you prefer that, between Azorius, Blink, and green-white tokens here, or green-white beatdowns. From my end, I'm just bringing in Shatters, Giant Killers. These are my anti-aggro cards. Just kill big stuff. It's the name of the game. Giant Killer has been surprisingly amazing. I think this is a card that has gotten a lot better. Even though the card that had to get banned was a 4-power creature, but it was still
it was pretty good in that format too. Like the 4-color adventure deck started playing a couple copies. They initially were just playing Omnath for white, but they moved a little bit further into it because Giant Killer was so effective.
Yeah, exactly. And Ross has been saying it already. He's trying to be a big creature deck and play some great henges, so might as well try to chop them down. Then we got one more ECD to bring in. You got a decent amount of big stuff that it's probably good enough. As far as what to take out, Elspeth Sun's Nemesis is not very good, and I only main deck it because it's okay. It's done decent things, gained me some life, get some blockers. You can go Elspeth, -2, then untap, -2 again, Yorion, blink it, start fresh. That's cute, fine, not bad, but
I've generally liked it in decks that just play lots of small creatures that often get trumped on the battlefield, and using that -1. That's where I found Elspeth to be most effective, and that works in this deck.
Exactly, and you do have like Season Hollowblade. If I knew your Season Hollowblade would not get like a maul or something like that, this would be fine, but you do have these over-the-top things that make me want to trim on this style effect. Teferi as well, not the best of cards, but I do like one. Niambi, this card's just terrible. If you're copying this list to play it, cut this card. It's super bad. I just wanted to test it, but last night I tested it and it's not very good. Taking out one Mimic and then 2 Solemn Simulacrums. Usually a decent card against aggro, and it's not terrible here, but like I said, you have that over-the-top aspect, so I'm cutting a few of those, and just trying to kill your stuff.
I'm going to keep all the mauls in. I actually think with all the blockers you put my way, maul is going to be really good.
That's why I was kind of, getting rid of that, so I wouldn't be surprised.
On my side, bring in some Vivians to give myself some more staying power, some Skyclave Apparitions so I can clean up some of the permanents and limit the effectiveness of Yorion. Apparition particularly good at hitting glass caskets, and getting my creatures back as well. Cutting the Scavenging Oozes, again, the graveyard element, not particularly relevant, though I think this card is very good in the format.
Yeah, me too.
We've seen a couple matchups here where it hasn't been very good.
I've seen a lot of decks where it says just 4 of in the main, and I think that is way closer to right than wrong. It's probably like 3 or something because they'd have diminishing returns on themselves, but it's just so good in so many matchups.
Yep. And then I'm trimming one Great Henge since we're bringing in the Vivians. Corey has all the answers to this, and I assume bringing in a lot of removal post-board, so the third copy becomes a liability. I'll trim one Primal Might. I'm bringing in a couple more removal spells. We don't need a ton of removal here, though we would like to kill Yorion when it happens.
Yes.
Yorion is really big.
Well, there's a lot of them for you to kill. Spoiler alert, there's not
But you're
just the
playing
one.
80 cards, so it's like you only have 3.
Yeah, but me and Yorion have such a close bond that they stick around the top.
You have a close bond. It's up in the air. You're down here on the ground. You can barely see the thing.
Hey, that's all right. I live vicariously through Yorion.
You don't know what they're doing up there. They probably have a whole second family.
I know what
Corey
they're-
just always has his head in the clouds. Come
I know what they're doing up there. They are blinking things out and bringing them back. You know what Yorion does.
I don't know what Yorion's been telling you, but I'm hearing completely different things around the town.
I even made an emote where I put Afro on Yorion with a dropping bombs tattoo on the wing.
I don't think Yorion likes you as much as you like it.
Oh, I probably can see that, but that's because my love for Yorion is so great. Rob, you got a question here involving Yorion by any chance?
I don't right now.
Okay, sure. Queue is open if anybody would like a question out there. If not, I will just go first and hope this goes a little better than that last time. Okay, it's a good hand though. I will keep.
7 cards. What do we got?
What do you got?
I have a lot of lands, but it's a reasonable hand. I will keep.
Oh, I got a temple. I'm going to be enlightened with this land that I want to keep on top.
I will play Fable Passage.
Okay. All right. I will be quite charming and scry 2. And that's the thing I love about Charming Prince, too. It's like the opportunity cost is so low. Just scry on 2 to make sure you curve out is perfectly fine. Now that's a little bit excessive of lands. And yeah, here is another thing where my mana base is not great, where I have to play 2 of these. I'll show that I'm putting it to the bottom out of pure shame that I put 2 of those in the deck, but it's still probably wrong.
Right. Bronze-eyed Lion.
Okay.
You're up.
Okay. I'm going to go with a Bertha Melidus. Then I'm going to play a Miria's Call tapped and get a land and pass to you.
I get in for 3.
Okay, I will take it.
Brings you to 17.
The 0-4, pretty decent against the Lion.
Got a Forest, and I will play Seasoned Howlblade.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
All right, so I'm going to get one of these. It's up to 2. I think I just want to have a nice little setup turn. Your battlefield's not super scary yet, but of course there are some scary cards. But we're just going to... we're just going to soul them. Go get a... doesn't really matter at this stage. Get a land and pass to you.
That was a good draw.
Not cool, not cool.
I will play Maul the Skyclave.
Oh, that's good. I'm at 17, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's equip this to the Howlblade. The Bronze-eyed
Okay.
Lion's a better blocker on the crackbacks.
Okay.
And slam in for 5.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Brings you to 12.
Yep. Thinking what to Primal Might.
And that comes in. And that, yeah. If you, because of the Charming Prince, Corey's never going to expose Eorian if he has a next turn. So I might as well just deal with the Prince now. So
Okay.
pass turn.
All right, so I'll gain 2.
Brings you to 14.
Yep. And we'll draw. Oh, that was a good draw. One good draw deserves another, Mr. Ross Merriam.
It's an ECD on my Maul.
That would be good too.
Kind of wish I had 1 ECD in my deck.
Just one.
Yeah, this in the sideboard. Slower matchups.
Yeah, ECD is good.
You could do a lot more ECDing than I do. I don't like it.
I got a Skyclave.
Yeah, that one also counts.
I think I would rather take Season Hollowblade here. If you have to reattach, like, that's fine. And then I'll pass to you.
Okay, well, I will play Boulder Loft Pathway.
Okay.
I will attach them all
Okay.
and get in for 5.
All right, well, let's stop or giant killer that. Chop that down.
Pass turn.
Don't you get something when it dies?
It becomes an aura, but I don't have any creatures to reattach to.
Oh, okay. I thought it like stayed on the battlefield or something.
Yeah, it comes back as an aura that lets the creature become indestructible for green and white. Basically gives it the Bronze Line ability.
Okay. Cool. Fancy.
Yeah, I should have seen that coming.
Yeah, you got wrecked. Okay, so I will Oracle. I actually just kind of want to get a land here.
I could have very easily played around that. That was horrible.
Okay. So good cards here. Oh, but I am going to shuffle, so I can only keep one anyways. So I'll get this. Tap land, beat downs.
I got a 16.
Okay, and then second main. Thassa blink.
Yep.
Search and pass to you. So the one thing that's nice about Solemn is just trying to ramp to the point where you just treat Yorion as an 8-drop, and once you get to that point, then it's nice.
Sack of Fable Passage, get a Plains.
Okay.
We drew a pretty good one here.
Oh.
Gives me some hope, because you have 1 card in hand right now?
1, yep. Technically 3.
Yeah. I have a Questing Beast.
QB.
Get in for 4.
Okay.
Brings you to 10.
10.
Then I'll play a Seasoned Howlblade.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
All right. Not bad.
Sort of getting paid off from a misplay, because now hopefully Corey doesn't have an answer to the QB.
Oh, I got one on board. 2 on
yeah,
board.
Yeah, Yorion on Skyclave.
Yep.
Well, that'll at least protect my Maul. Then I can just Maul up the Howlblade and attack in.
So yeah, we're gonna do this. We're gonna blink out this. You get a 2/2. Then end step. I will trigger these to come into play. I will target Thassa here.
So you want Thassa's trigger on the stack first, then Yorion trigger on the stack. So the Yorion trigger resolves first.
Well, the stuff from Yorion comes in first,
Yes.
and then this will trigger, and then I'll have another Yorion ability.
Yeah. So you want the Yorion trigger on top of the stack.
Yep. So now...
So I assume we'll be getting a land first and then preordaining.
Yep, and I'm just...
You can search for your land while you think about what to apparate.
So we'll go like this.
Yeah, it actually is possible that you would rather have Maul still, because then the Yorion just trades for the QB.
Yeah, but oh yeah, because I'm not blinking it out yet. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll do the Omen.
Well, it comes back immediately, so the Yorion's going to be available to block.
Yeah.
Well, you have to decide what to target before you.
Oh, you're right.
there.
You're right. Okay, so
Now you've cheated and lost the game, and the show's over.
That's
You're
true.
fired. All those things are true.
Yeah,
I have that power.
So the Maul, yeah, the Maul is just too threatening. I'm pretty sure right now. So yeah, let's hit the Maul. Then let's Omen. Both of these are quite good. So I'll keep them both. And then Yorion blinks. And now what do I want to blink out? For sure this. Skyclave, and I'll give you a 3/3, but then I'll be able to exile something. I don't think I'm going to block with it. I am at 10.
So you need to leave 2 blockers other than the Orient to not die to a Primal Might is the big thing, because I can just pump up the QB. And actually,
Yeah.
if I have land Primal Might, then you're just dead.
Yep. Land Primal Might, I'm just dead. And I have enough goods on top where I'm just going to blink out this for safety. And yeah, this will be coming back at your end step.
I think you can afford to blink out the Apparition too, because you beat...
You get a 3/3 then, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So you can't afford to have me have the 3.
Yeah, so I think I'm just going to go, especially with what I have on top. Like, I just have to make
so you
sure
don't
I
even
don't
want this
die.
coming back on the end step if you like your top cards.
That's true, too. Yep. Yeah, so I'll just say go.
Anyway.
So not the best second Yorion blink there, but the first one was good enough.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I have not drawn a good one.
Okay.
I will attack for 4 with the QB.
So now it's, do I want to keep the Yorion tricks going, or do I feel that I don't really need to? I already saw this card. I'm just going to look again. I forgot. I think I would rather keep good old Snorian. So yeah, I'll take it. I'll go to 6.
6, and I have a land and a Turn Timber Symbiosis.
Okay.
So top 7. Thought I was gonna whiff. My first 5 were all bricks.
Oh no.
Not sure if either of these is really going to help. Now the core is a bunch of mana, has Thassa to tap things down if necessary, and the Yorion. But if any of them is going to help, it's probably just going big. So I'll take a Mammothie Boy.
Woolly boy. All right.
That's 3 counters, and then I'll pass.
Okay. I will. Oh, sorry. Omen comes in at end step. Scry 2. I'll keep them both. Draw 1 for Omen, 1 for my turn. Actually, I don't need this second Omen of the Sea. I already have enough value. Okay, so let's start with the attack.
I'll go to 12.
Okay, now let's go with Glass Casket on the Illusion. I will go with Omen of the Sun.
Brings you to 8.
Yep. And I will go to end step, Thassa, Blink Yorion. Blink these out. I think I can safely blink this out this time.
Yeah, I agree.
And maybe even Solemn? Am I feeling froggy? We'll leave Solemn for safety. Oh, whoops. I can play Giant Killer as well.
I think you'd rather leave up 4 mana so you're not dead to Primal Might.
I got something else, but yeah.
You have another chop down? Okay.
I have something. So I can still play Giant Killer, so then I will blink this out because I got an extra blocker and pass to you.
Yeah, another chop down is going to do it.
Chop, 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 chop.
That is another land. Yeah, it's not quite enough to get over the hump here.
Yep. Chop down, end step. This is all coming back. The Glass Casket gets to get the new illusion. Apparition gets this. So every time you blink these out, you're actually just full on removing something.
Yeah.
Which is nasty.
As the kids say, a combo.
You are trying to bond with your fellow kids today, aren't you? Ross and his fellow kids. All right.
You do.
All right. So not bad, not bad. We forced a game 3, even though this should have been a 2-0. Having to top deck QBs here. Oh, you know what you did wrong? You didn't start with Lovestruck Beast.
Yeah, I know. I'm just...
The other 4 games started with Heart's Desire.
I'll make sure to do that for you.
Oh, please don't. Please don't. All right, Rob, do you got any questions from our lovely chat?
Not at the moment.
At the moment, we're dry. All right. Everyone's just amazed with both of our decks. I do like your deck. I think Maul the Skyclave and Primal Might with these really sticky threats seems awesome.
Yeah,
and
that's the ideal. Self of Savior helps protect the green 3-drops. It's also another 1/1 for Lovestruck Beast, which is one of the issues I had with the deck, running out of 1/1s. So that if you're sort of looking at that one and saying, why is that there? Because it looks a little out of place. Like it serves a couple different roles. But
what about instead of that? What if you had like Innkeeper, maybe some Shepherd of the Flocks, and kind of did a green-white adventure theme?
I have been thinking about trying to do that because Shepherd is another 3-power 2-drop.
Yep.
And the whole idea of this deck initially being 2-drops that don't die to Stomp, I don't think is as important anymore. There's just way fewer Stomps.
Stomp's just worse. Yeah.
So I don't think you need to absolutely play the 2-3-drops that you have.
Yep.
Bronze-Eyed Lion looks cool. It's a Selesnya card. We're a Selesnya deck.
Yeah.
But isn't really necessary.
Back in my day, I was happy to play 4 Watchwolves, and there was not any additional text on my 2-mana 3/3s.
There's a lot of text on Bronze-Eyed Lion,
and
but
none of it's very good.
Literally none of it is relevant. I think I believe I've activated the card for Indestructible twice,
Yeah.
and I do not believe I've activated an Indestructible ability of an aura from Broadside Line.
Yeah, honestly, it seems like the Indestructible as just like a blocking situation that would prevent your opponent from attacking seems more like what you actually use it for, and then you don't actually use it anyways. So, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah, I can definitely see moving this deck in an adventure direction, playing Shepherd of the Flock and Giant Killer,
Yep.
and having those be your adventure creatures. That would make a lot of sense.
I agree. Okay, game number 3 here to decide if we're still playing for those marbles or if they're just mine. Well, this is a bad start.
Ooh, I like that.
Ooh.
Well, this is kind of bull honky. I don't have Lustruck Beast.
Oh, well.
But my hand is good, so I have to keep.
At least I have a chance then. All right. Even for a lover of Yorion, I think this one's a little bit too slow to me. We're going to ship this one back here.
Yeah. If Yorion cost 4 mana and was like a 2/4 flyer, then you're in.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But then that card would be busted.
Oh, would be? Excuse me?
It's not really, after the companion nerf, it's not really busted.
It's busted.
It's still good.
No, people don't think it's
When
busted.
you just cast it on turn 5 every game, it was busted.
But you still do that. I played 3 of them.
But you have to put them in your deck to do that.
Yeah.
Before you used to have this none in your deck, so it was all things to blink with it. And you cast it on turn 5 every game.
Yeah.
Literally every game.
It's still busted. You can't tell me otherwise. Okay, so I'm gonna keep a decent hand here. Let's get rid of one of these lands. And I think this one's perfectly fine to do so. And let's do it.
I will play Fable Passage and pass the turn.
Okay. Lucky for me, I don't switch these back, and I very rarely cast them, but when you do, it's nice.
Oh, yeah. Especially the Amiria.
Yeah.
2 4/4s.
I'm just playing 4 this card. It's great. You're already a very heavy white deck. You know, I'm not going to play the blue mythic as much as Shaheen tells me that it's good. I refuse to believe him.
Do you have any interest in playing the planar cleansing?
I don't think so. Not with the Yorion deck where you have so much stuff laying around.
Yeah.
But I did look at it. The one thing I'm interested in is the Cleric that like gains life and is also a land.
Oh, yeah.
But I already don't like Mimic very much, so I don't think I'm going to like that either.
Might be a good cyber card if mono red pops up.
Might be, but that deck is, as we were alluding to, not very good.
Yeah. Oh, Shaheen, you're a little late.
Oh, turn 2 is still probably good, though.
Well, I will be casting a Seasoned Howlblade instead. I'll take 3 from my Amiria.
17.
Amiria, and I have some respect for Amiria, so I'll pay some life for it.
All right, respect, man, respect. All right, I got a birth. I'm going to go get a land and pass to you.
Birth, that's going to block my Howlblade.
I'm hoping.
What if it's a 5-power flyer, though?
Well, then I'm probably just going to die. How about that?
You go to 15?
Yep.
Pass the turn.
Okay. 15. I will go like this. I will get a wall.
Corey's just going to play Skyclave Apparition.
How about that one off the top? Yeah, so that one goes under, and I will play a land and pass to you. Had it, though. Had it the whole time.
God, didn't hit a 4th land.
Yeah, now the tough part of, do you cast Lovestruck, or do you...
I've got a fine play. Well, Heart's Desire and Howlblade.
Okay. Not bad.
My 3-land keep is...
Yep. Okay, I will gain 2.
You're at a 17.
Yep. A draw. Ooh. I will play a land and pass to you.
What are you holding up?
Could
down?
be anything. Could even be a boat. You know how much we wanted one of those on Versus Live.
Five in hand?
5 of them. Rabble.
Primal Light for 1 on the wall. Yeah. I think I'm going to play this first. I think I'd rather sack this to your chop down than discard a card.
Yeah.
Does that change how you want to play?
Sure does not.
Okay.
I got a dead wall.
Attack for 5.
Okay, I got an Omen of the Sun, which you always walk into.
Oh,
Not so bad.
this one's a 4/2, so
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. So I can double block that and make you discard a card. So I gain 2.
Yeah, you're 19.
19. Or just block a Shaheen, have another blocker, just take my 4, move on, live life. It almost seems better. Could also, I don't think I'm at the point where I need to chump to survive or to maintain damage at the moment. So, got 2 cards though. All right, I will double block Season Hollowblade.
I am gonna keep my cards.
Save the good dog. Okay. All right.
Pass turn.
Untap a draw.
It's a little worse against a Wrath because Selfless Savior could protect something else.
Yep. All right. I'm going to Glass Casket Shaheen and put Yorion into my hand. Your go. Setting up for a nice Snorian next turn if I wanted to.
Attack for 3.
16. And that's the reason why I double blocked there, because I wanted the empty glass casket there, so that I can kill something later, and I valued a card more because I can kind of readjust this later.
I love Strike and Pass.
Okay. Yeah, pretty hard to not want to play Yorion here. For sure blinking out these, but do I want to...
I mean,
It doesn't. Yeah, literally does nothing. So, okay, so we'll bring these back.
You go to 18.
And I think Great Henge is one of the ways I die. So I'm going to take this, get a couple of tokens, and pass to you.
That's such a good opening hand.
Yeah.
Drew 4 land.
And if it makes you feel better, I only tried to tilt you a little bit with the glass casket that I drew off the top. I did have another one, which I was going to play anyways, but the third one is going to get you. And here we're seeing the awkwardness of Maul. You know, while it is a great and it was a nice play, the re-equipping against a deck that can just, you know, kill it leads to its own set of problems. That's for sure. Yeah, it doesn't seem like this can't really beat that. So I'll play Dreamy Tea. Your go.
Yeah. I don't know what you had, but I think if I hit this QB on turn 4, I'm in pretty good shape.
Oh,
Especially if I hit it with another white source, but
I got some stuff still, but
give a chop down.
yep.
Yeah, that would have been pretty good.
Yep.
But as is, it seems like much too late. What time? We got a little time. I'll struggle in vain, I guess.
Yay! Thank you. You gotta let me do some fun stuff here, right?
Yeah, play the QB and pass.
Okay. I will untap, draw, trigger. Oh baby, fan me down. All right, so I will start with an Omen, a Scry. I actually want a land, so we'll take a land. So that gets another trigger. So I'll attack, draw. So 6.
I go to 11. You go to 24.
Yep, and then second main. Thassa.
Yep.
And I will... The safe play is to probably just blink Dream Trawler, but if I blink Yorion, I mean, that seems pretty fine as well. So, yeah, I'll blink Yorion at end step, and then blink out this, and Dreamy Tea, just to make sure it's safe, and pass to you. And then with Dream Trawler, I'll actually be able to attack you. Oh, wait. No, don't blink out Dream Trawler, then I can block. What am I doing, silly goose? Gotta look out for that devotion. It doesn't attack often, but when it does, they're dead.
Play a Selfless Savior.
Okay.
Play a Primal Might for 2 on the QB. Fight the Yorion.
Okay. That is pretty good. Now this is shut off.
And get in for 9.
Okay, I'll chump.
Take 6, go to 18,
Yep.
and pass the turn.
All right. End step, these come in. I'll get 2 more tokens. Gain 2.
Go to 20.
20. I will scry. Put this Yorion and Charming Prince into my hand. All right. So I drew for the turn. Now I will just attack with this trigger.
It's for 5. I'm at 6 here, 25.
Yep. Then I will for 5 Yorion, blink out these, then Charming Prince, blink out Yorion, and then end step target this, but have these return first. So get 2 more tokens, scry. Put an ECD, and then Yorion comes in. We'll exile these. The blink here exiles this, so that'll come back. When you get Charming Prince, Thassa, and Yorion, there's an extra level where you're getting to do the loop every end step, and it just gets bananas.
Yeah. Very solid curve on Corey's side.
Yeah.
Both Glass Casket and Bertha Melitis match up really, really well against my deck.
And Apparition, actually.
Yeah, and Apparition.
You do get to kill that, though, and you can temple me out with that card at some point.
Really, the 2-drops, like the 0-4 wall against my 3 power 2-drops, and then the Casket hitting tokens, and then, being able to blink or just hitting, all my 2 and 3 drops cleanly. Just a little bit too much to deal with. In this case, my aggressive elements were not designed to match up against those defensive elements. Yeah. And you saw that in games 2 and 3. But when I curve out, it still looked good. QB looked great in those games.
Of course, yeah.
I think moving towards an adventure-focused shell makes sense for this deck. Yeah. But I do really like the white cards.
I love the white cards. Do you have Aspirant? The put a counter on things?
No.
That one I think you should totally have.
Yeah, that one is also, that one makes a lot of sense.
That's a good way to scale too. Like, if anything, it's the same as Lion essentially, because it's a 3/3 the next turn if you want it to be. But it can go a little bit higher, plus counters on something. Play Love Struck, then the next turn put a counter, or combat put a counter on it, then combat make it a 7/7, and then free Great Henges and stuff. That seems awesome. But Bertha Melitis in this, like I'm at 3 right now. And the list that I changed to late last night, I was playing even. I went back up to 4 Bertha Melitis, but it hasn't been the best card for me. But mostly I wanted to cut the Niambi and the Mimics. And so I wanted another land, but I didn't want an actual just land, so I added Bertha Melitis. And then I added 2 of the Miriam's Prophecy or whatever. Metamized Prophecy. And that card, I thought it was just going to be a meme, but I was doing some crazy things. Like I went Birth on 2, Prophecy on 3, Scryed to get my 4th land I needed. Turn 4, named Yorion, played Solemn Simulacrum or whatever. And then the next turn, played Yorion, drew 2 cards, blinked it out again, end step, came into play Scryed 2. I'm like, I'm gonna try a list with like 3 or 4 of that card later because I think that card could be good. But
another just nice value card. It's a lot of marginal value cards and resilient threats, and that's just good magic.
Yeah,
and that seems to be what's being stressed right now in Standard. I love it.
And one last thing on it is the loop against mid-range decks is insane because Charming Prince is already a card you don't want to kill. It helps set up your draw and is just completely fine on service value, like exactly fine. It's never good, but it's never heinous. But then just the value of even just playing a Yorion, blinking out 2 Omen of the Seas, and even if they kill it, the value you get from that is usually too hard for decks with just 1-for-1 removal to keep up. And then when you put in the loop on top of that, then it's impossible. 1-for-1 removal just doesn't work good enough to be able to get that value back. And if we're going into a world with that much removal, I think this deck is going to be quite good, but control is really bad and over-the-top things are rough. So it definitely has its problems, but I think against mid-range and hyper-aggressive decks, this deck's in a good spot. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
All
that
right.
is going to do it for round 2 here on Versus Live. We are going to take a short 5-minute break, come back here and finish it up, see if I can get on the board or if it's going to be a clean sweep today for Corey. So come back in 5 minutes. You're not going to want to miss our final match.